Check, check. Welcome in, everybody. How are we doing on this fine Sunday? Hope everybody's weekend was good. Gail, good to have you. BRKB. I think that's banking, right? Big breakout. I'm assuming big breakout. Breakouts and financials on Friday was really, really nice. Yep, we'll go over SPY as well. SK1CT. Do that. Oh, I sent the message late, so we'll give it 1 or 2 more minutes, but then we're gonna get rolling because got lots to talk about. A couple follow-ups from last week, a couple new things this week, a couple tech names, thoughts on QQQ, thoughts on SPY, how to best trade it. It seems like another week goes by, another all-time high. Yeah, we're rolling. We are rolling. Pay attention to Tilio's newsletter. You know, we're in the chat and the Discord itself. It's like we're rolling for the right reasons. You know, so this consolidation breakout that we were talking about was very nice. Rena, good to have you as usual, for sure. You're always watching some stuff. Let me know if you got anything. Otherwise, yeah, just give it 1 more minute and we'll start rolling here. I think I wanted this chart. Yeah. Yes, okay, we can look at SoFi. I think I mean, we'll go over it when I get there. Sometimes I wonder if when I see a breakout and then a big flow hit, it's like, are they late chasing or are they looking for continuation? So we got to kind of see, you know, does that flow match the chart? You just never know with flow. It's very tricky. I'm not going to pretend to be professional at it because I'm definitely not. But I like to see stuff hitting in consolidation. But yeah, we'll go over it. All right, guys, we'll roll with the people we got and the ticker requests we got. And we'll, if people trickle in, we'll add to that. But welcome to Sunday Scan. Looks like most of the regulars in here, but if not, I'm a staff member here, you guys. My name's StartedWith 1K. Feel free to DM me anytime you want. Questions, concerns, whatever chart setups, let me know. But with that, we're gonna get started, you guys. Like I said, exciting week last week. If you're on the right side of it, you saved some of that gunpowder for Friday because we got it. But looking back, we got the breakout, maybe that the Bulls wanted. There's some stuff I was definitely eyeing. I think last week, I'd have to go back and look at my notes, but I had seen that we are consolidating in this zone here for many, many days. And even when we broke out here earlier in the week, this 576, 577 zone, I'm on the daily chart right now. They kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but on volume, the volume kind of skipped. Like, there's peaks at 579, but there's just this big peak at 580. And I'm not, whatever, if that's big money positioning, if it's coincidental, whatever it was, or if it's a trend line just being perfect. But that's why I kind of put in the chat, it wasn't like an alert on Friday in my tab, but it's like I was loaded, and it's I'm not saying it's a good trader habit, but normally I trim. I held full all the way to 580, not bragging, but I felt something. It just seemed like it was right, and that 580 volume was just building all week, and it was just something that I was kind of watching, and I just kind of stuck my guns. And then I put in my chat too, or at least in trade for that, if we get the breakout on Qs, I expect, or I think the 494 would line up really well with SPY 580, and it worked out like perfectly, which is awesome when it works. Let me unlink these as far as the ticker name, just so we can kind of see the movement and what I was kind of eyeing on. Let's see, I'm on the 15. I'll go the 15 down here just to kind of show like what I was looking for or hoping for. We've seen that breakout. SPY's on this lower one here. We've seen the breakout on a 15-minute candle. This one here closed over, not by much, over this after-hours session, a little bit of pre-market session here, and pretty much right at yesterday's high or the previous day's high, which that candle syncs up to Q's regaining a big support. That big support was this pivot zone here, this big bounce zone here from the previous day, which was Thursday. And so I kind of said to myself, okay, we're breaking over here. Tech is reclaiming a level that we want. Tech, for the most part, can carry SPY. Obviously, if XLE and XLF are having a really bad day, it's a little bit different story. There's some chop, but I just put all that together, and it just, like I said, it just one of those times where it feels good, and it feels good to hit it. And lo and behold, we hit that 580, and again, that 494, which I'm going to go into in depth a little bit, or a little more detail on Qs, it lined up right with that. And so that's where, on trade for, I was like, hey, this is a good sell. If you caught this move or any part of it, that big move, like this is a 15-minute candle down here on SPY down here on this lower chart. Like that's a big 15-minute. If you trade the 15-minute like me, it's like you wait on the close, waiting for a dip, or maybe a half-ass ugly candle for a dip, but it's like we didn't get it, and we just blew past the EMAs, blew past VWAP and all that. And so that's one of those trades where it's like, man, if you got in, great. I hope you didn't chase it at 580. Who knows where we go tomorrow? I think I'm going to kind of pivot into that, but like that's just one of those times where if you're seeing some things that line up, like don't be scared to take the chance, and that's kind of what I did there. And so moving forward on SPY, I'm going to go back to the daily real quick. Let me get back to this. A couple things to look at. Obviously, this upper trend line and lower trend line here. If we grab 1, 2, 3 touches, It's an obvious rising wedge, whatever you want to call it. It could go forever. It could actually play out. Or if I move this down like this and grab this wick down here, we got 2 touches, a little bit wider of a wedge. I definitely want to call it a channel. If you're into patterns, stuff like that, a channel, we'd want to see something, more evenly spaced. But for me, this top trend is very well defined. And I will keep an eye on it on the daily if we keep pushing, which I bet if I, throw some upper Bollinger Bands on there as well, that probably lines up as well. But on a daily time outlook, time frame outlook, you guys, this is kind of what I'm eyeing as a trade plan this week and in the coming weeks. And now the question, Gail kind of touched on it. It's like, okay, what do we do from all-time highs? There's really nothing we can do other than, intraday levels on a 5 or 15 minute, like if we get a push, we can dip into some EMAs, but on the daily, it's like, okay, where do we go? So I kind of prepared for it just for speed up the class a bit. We do a fib extension. So Fibonacci extension is a recent low to the high, and you extend it back down to the low and it draws your extension. So obviously this is some big price targets. This is not, tomorrow or this week. This is just possible stopping points. I think the key here with Fibonacci extensions, at least for this, if I drew it right, if not, someone correct me, maybe not look at these price targets right away, but more importantly, any dips, any breakout retest. We say breakout retest, breakout retest. Okay, how do you play that? This is how you do it. And so the breakout point, the high point is essentially 100%. A full retracement to the recent low is, all the way down here. It's a full 100% retracement. And so what we do, you guys, is you can do the daily or you can do intraday, but we want to look for dips. And you can see, okay, so if I hover over here, this is 78.6 fib extension. Look how clean that lines up to 577, okay? And so if I move this closer, maybe just to help, make sure I don't move it or move it too much, but so this extension here, what would be a retracement? So say we reject 580, you're busy with work, you wake up late, and you're like, oh man, SPY's kind of down that 577, which we can see. I'm gonna move this back over so I have some room to draw here and make my point, is that extension. Now let's slap a trend line, just for double confirmation, or a support line. That lines up perfect. 61.8 extension lines up perfect. Uh, 50 flat. So 50% retracement from this move, from these lows, lines up perfect again. 572.89. So to me, I would leave this on a daily time frame chart and just kind of reference it, move to it, stuff like that. But I'm looking for trades intraday, and so we can move to that now. But does anybody have any questions on big time frame, SPY on the daily, kind of what we're looking at, what we're looking for? It's, it's uncharted territory. We've literally never been here before. Obviously, it's all-time highs. That's what it means. And so on a zoomed in scale here, I think I'll do the hourly. It's kind of what I usually like to do here. Best case scenarios tomorrow is, for me, when we make all-time highs, I just want to see back test levels. I want to see us retrace back to levels. I don't want to see us open at 580 and just push. And it's like, if we push and get some dips along the way and we get some, like some EMA touches, stuff like that, some VWAP touches, that's fine. But for me, I would like to see some back test levels here. Again, this 577 pocket stands out to me if I were to draw on this chart level as well. Ideal situation, you guys probably know where I'm going with this, my drawings, is open somewhere, something like this. And, if we get this move down, like this is, when I say safe, I'm using air quotes, that's where you take your dip buy. So if we open here and you take the breakdown here and you miss the puts, it's like, you don't watch the move here and take puts here. You're taking puts at support. Okay, you take calls at support, you take puts at resistance. Okay, and so this tomorrow morning, if you're watching this, or if you're late or you don't trade the open, whatever it is, if we trickle on this 577, it's not a lot of volume down here. I think is it only these 3 days? I mean, let me see. Yeah, we only spent not even 3 days. I mean, well, this back test here. So there's support here. There's hopefully some buyers, but to me, that's first line defense if we want to leg up for some more. Short term outlook. I'm not saying 6 months from now, but short term outlook this week. If you want to be a bull and another leg up over 580, 577 has to hold this week. Okay, so maybe we push up and go more. Again, we'll just use those fib extensions, use the EMAs, whatever it is. But the big one here is 577. If we crack that, now I have to treat, or at least in my mindset, is 577 was support and now resistance. And so if we're under 577, this is the price action you play and you hope for. So we break under 577. If we push up, ideally you want to see a push up to 577, you get your puts and you see a rejection, you take your nice profit. We push up to 577, pushed up here, ultimately close on this candle, get a rejection, nice sell down. Okay, and so that is my game plan tomorrow. I mean, obviously I can just reduce some work for me. Go ahead, send alert, boom, they're done. Okay, and so this has to hold for me tomorrow. Short-term trend, let's see if we got anything here. Don't want to make the charts too messy, but let's see here. So now I'm on the 1 hour. You can see on the daily, that trend line doesn't, I mean, whether it moved or not, just it doesn't quite line up. So on a zoomed in look, this may be more beneficial. You can keep this upper trend line, excuse me, on the daily, but this intraday one, on the 1 hour time frame is something that I think I want to be more concerned with, and I'll probably extend this. And so, on the flip side again, if we're pushing, it's like if we keep hitting this, trend line 581, we keep rejecting. It's like I'm getting cautious. If I'm in calls, it's like, be cautious up here. We got the trend line. Yeah. So 577, I think, is a better, safer retrace to play versus a breakout. But if we do get the breakout over 580, again, same thing, same situation as this, is you get a breakout over 580, you slap a support line at or near 580. I mean, 579.3 is the most action from Friday. Something like that. Oops, sorry, maybe. And you go with that. What would be a great entry point to hedge 580 put? So viral, meaning you already have 580, and if you're, I don't know when you got them, but a 580 put. Oh, you got puts on Friday. Okay, so I'm at the money put. So assuming, so that's probably a viral. Let me know in the chat. That's probably a longer, I think we've talked in DMs. That's probably a longer swing for you. So you're saying if we keep pushing, a hedge, that's tough. So for me, if I say I had some November 580s, so in the money puts November hypothetical, what I would do is I would continue to day trade calls against it. So if I'm in a 580 put, that probably cost you a lot for November. Let's just say it was $500. I'm throwing out a number there, it's $500. Literally or figuratively, like on a notepad or a mental note, I would say, hey, I'm in this put for $500. I think we need a retracement play or retracement drawdown, but I'm a day trader, so I'm not just going to let it burn to zero. So what I would do is I would continue, if we keep breaking over 580, but maybe kind of ranging, I would day trade calls and say, okay, I made $80 today. Okay, we bounced 580 or 579.3 again, or 7.3, excuse me, and I made $110 today or whatever. And so basically what I'm saying is you keep that mental note of, okay, I'm red on the SPY 580 puts, but as a SPY play itself, I'm hedging and leveraging that. And, I bought it for $500 and in 2 days I made 150 or 180, whatever it is. And so, you may be down on these push-ups, because you're in puts, but, net you're down less. And so that's kind of how I would play it. That's hard with swings. You got to kind of just, trust the levels. Or, I mean, if we're blowing past, this is some options volume this week. I marked this 585, you guys, the biggest spike I'm seeing this week, 585 and 570. We'll come back next week. Let's see if we hit any of those. That'll be fun to come back to. But anyways, if we're blowing past it, you just got to decide, okay, have I made enough to offset it? So you're now, 40% red on the 580 put, whatever dollar amount that would be, and you've made X amount of dollars on a push to whatever the zone is up here that you're playing. And you just got to decide, okay, yeah, it has time, it's late November, whatever it is. You got to decide, is it worth holding or showing a weakness? But on the flip side, if we keep pushing this 580 this week, to me, Viral, I wouldn't hedge it. If we just if we're kind of doing, push up, take some calls, scalp, nice, trending around here, push up, breakouts are failing, and now we start getting some opens, some pre-market opens under here, and we start pushing, rejecting. That's where you kind of hold more confidence and no need to hedge. But if we start kind of, doing this, some higher lows, like, definitely keep track and don't let it get out of hand. Like I said, don't just, a lot of people think I have time. Well, you do have time in the contract, but it's not unlimited. You're not in spies of shares at 500 with unlimited time to let it do whatever it's want. Like, you're in a November contract. Theta is small now, but it's going to start ramping up. And another thing, option Greeks, the longer we get away from, your strike price, like, the option Greeks are working against you. So, if we're up at 586 and you're at 580, you're now $6 out of the money. So those moves really, really go against you. Rena, you have another lower trend line similar to the daily. Sorry, I'm behind in the chat. I feel like River. Sorry, River. Trend line down here. Let me know. You might have to walk me through that, but that's SPY. Any more questions on that, you guys? Damn near spent half the class on it. QQQ. I don't want to skim over anything, but I think we need to move on. Qs, big spot here. It's obvious where, if you're in calls, where I think you guys should be out of your calls, and that is 494. It's a thick line. It's thick for a reason. It means it's a bigger resistance for me. That's a big spot. It's been a big spot. Let's see if we go back to the all-time high zone. Did it react there? Yeah, I mean, it makes sense here too. This zone back here, early July. So for me, you guys, QQQ, which is tech for you guys who don't know, I jumped to the 4-hour chart now. We're pushing up. We're knocking on that door. We're knocking on that ceiling, but we haven't broken it. We have not broken out of it yet. And so for me, I am, I'm cautiously, I'm taking my shorts there until they blow me out of the water and we break out. And then it's like, you know what? Okay, it's next leg up, time for next leg up. But until then, a more zoomed in look. Qs, SPY, maybe if SPY is just blasting all-time highs, you're like, oh, I don't know how to trade it. Maybe trade the Qs because we have some volume, we have some information to work with. But until, like I said, until this 494 breaks, like a daily close, a 1-hour close, a 4-hour close. So I'm on the 1-hour time frame right now. There's no 1-hour closes at all last week. Push up, rejection, push up, rejection, push up, you get the point. And so 494, if you guys are not good charting, QQQ 494, 491.18, fairly big ranges, but this is more of like an extreme, extreme ranges for me. You can obviously add some more lines in here, but I don't want to get overwhelmed with lines. And then 47.35. Okay, 47.35. So for me, let's watch. If we keep rejecting, again, take puts with caution at 494. But again, if we start blown out up to 495, you got to cut the puts. Don't just hold them because, one case says, oh, 494 is big. Well, it is until it's not. If we break this, 494 is now our support. And you play the bounces off 494 until it fells you. But nice 3-day consolidation. And we know when consolidation happens, big move is going to follow. And so, yeah, big move to watch there. All right, let's get to your watch list, you guys. BRKB. Berkshire. I don't think I chart this much. Let's start the daily, Gale. Interesting here. I like a fresh mindset. No bias, all-time highs, it looks like, I would assume. A couple of things stand out. I see a lower trend line immediately on the daily. Very nice. So for me, start the longer time frame if you're looking for swings, if you're looking for longer steps. This is on everything, you guys. I'm giving you kind of day trade ideas, but I will point out if it's a swing idea. But from a day trade perspective, okay, where are we on the chart? We got a lower trend line holding. Nice. Okay. So now let's get some upper lines of, what I would call a top range of recent price activity. Definitely this stands out. This hits here, it rejected there. It hits here on September 19th. Opened there September 10th, ultimately rejected, and August 27th. So for me, Berkshire, my ceiling, meaning I'm out of calls until it breaks at 462, probably 462 to 462.16 pocket. If you want a round number, make it 462. Okay, where's our support? We want to buy support bounces. There's one right here that stands out immediately to me. Sorry, sometimes I need to zoom in. I'm on a 27-inch screen. Some of you guys might be on your phone. So this is the daily. Gail, if you're still on here, this is the daily, what I'm seeing right here. So that's going into a day trade perspective, kind of what we're seeing, what I would do. Obviously, that big level plays out again. So for me, if we trickle into this, and I miss the first move in the morning, Gail, if I see this move that happened Friday, so I'm on the 1 hour chart here, it's Monday morning, I'm not going to dive into a trade. If we're pushing up here, we open like this, and you push and you watch, and we push over, but then you see a 1 hour candle like this, immediately you probably know what I'm saying or where I'm gonna go. My mindset is, okay, another day of rejections, that's fine. And so for me, I would wait to see, if you're not an early morning trader or a scalper, whatever it is, or right off the bell, let's watch this price action here. Watch it on the 30, on the 1 hour, whatever it is. But don't trade on the 1 minute time frame, you guys, a short time frames, because it's like, oh, breakout. It's like, well, okay, maybe you caught the breakout, but it's like maybe you're late to the party chasing this, and you're like, oh, why do we reject? It's like, well, look at your big daily levels, your long time frame levels. And so for me, tomorrow it's not fairly easy, depending on where we open, 462 to 462.16, that little pocket there. Let's see how we react. And if we reject, if you want to be a bull, that's fine, but it's big money doesn't care what you want. And this goes for anybody, not a scale. So if you're trying to play this breakout, get the breakout, a 1 hour close over, and then the back test of it, because your risk is small if they fail to hold this. And so top range play out or scenario, bottom range, this is nice. And that's why I kind of saved this for the second half of this. And so look at this bottom range. When I say a range, you guys, if you guys don't know or new or whatever, a range is just a top and bottom kind of a horizontal channel, I guess. I'm kind of making that term up on the fly. Like a channel of up, down, up, down, up, down. It rejects and it bounces the same spot. This is just a sideways channel, a range channel. So our range on this, it's fairly large, but 452 to 462 for a round number and quickness. Let's just call it that. So this, if you're a day trader and a swinger and you're good at what you do, this is paradise for you, because you catch this old resistance here and you say, hey, you know what, we've rejected, that's kind of an ugly close on the day, back over here, you guys, on September 19th. You know what, let me get into swings. I'm a swing trader and I got good targets here, I got good levels marked. My final target hypothetically is 452. Boom, you take your swing puts here and you're like, oh man, 3-day hold down here, big support level hold, let me get some calls. Okay, ride the calls up. You don't make it to your top channel, that's fine. Puts again, calls, puts, calls. Okay, so you get the point here. So when you see a channel like this on any stock, on any name, like, zoom out, play those levels and take it with confidence, and take your price targets with confidence, because this is, if you're an investor, it's like, oh, you want the breakout, but we trade options. We can trade the downside, we can trade the upside. Like, this is a nice range. Okay, lower trend line, or excuse me, lower range. What do we got here? This this purple line is my daily 9 moving average. Daily 9. The screen is the 20. What's it doing? It's curling underneath us. So if I go, so I'm on the 1 hour right now. If I go the daily, keep track of where these purple and green lines are. If I go the daily, and now I zoom in, they're now curling under us. So to be a bull, you have a lower trend line. You have a support at let's just call it 456. and you got two strong moving averages underneath, you got four reasons to be bullish or confidently bullish. If you're in shares or you take calls here at 456, you have reasons to hold for possible breakout with time. That is with time. Okay, so very nice setup, Gail. Here, this is one to watch. And again, you know, longer term downside, longer term bearish. We break a trend line. I mean, for me, I don't trade this much, but you know, for me, I would just, if you're interested in this or if you want to trade it, downside, like downside swings, like you got to break 453. You got to break the trend line. You got to break support 1. You got to break support 2, and then it's on, because now you're gonna have the moving averages overhead, and you're gonna have 4 or 5 reasons of resistance overhead. But very nice trade or trade potential setup. Hopefully answers your question. If not, hit me in the chat or in DMs. ET. Oh, energy sector. Interesting. Who's this? SK, are you in this, or you just want kind of what my thoughts would be? I'm on the daily right now. Let me slap some lines. Okay, got a daily close over, might even move this. Daily close over a very big level. Where are we at on the chart? Is that all-time high? It's like everything's all-time highs, right? Most things, yep, all-time high. Very nice. Just insight, perfect. All right. This is beautiful. So we have an all-time high level here, SK, at 1645-ish. That's a quick level. But for me, if you want to be a bull, what would I do here? Day trade and decent swing time outlook, I would look for this pocket. So if I do this, you guys, or if anyone watching, it's like, oh, it's a big move. But look at the price of it. You know, we're talking, you know, not even 10 cents. And so, but it is pockets, a pocket of support. That's how you play slower moving names. And so I grabbed this lower one here, you guys, for everyone that's watching it, because there's a breakout, retest, bounce zone, and we open there, and it lines up with this, it lines up with this, it lines up with all this stuff back here. And so for me, I want to see, you know, I would, if you're one to really, you know, have a trade plan, SK, I think you are, you know, I would draw a pocket here and just treat that pocket as demand, whatever you want to call it. You know, I don't want to put a name out there, but treat as support, basically. And so best case scenario, you get a back test of 1645 and you stay bullish, because we have the 9, which is curling, you know, eventually, the 20, which is going to curl slower eventually, as long as we trend up or consolidate. You know, let me back up. Best case scenario on swings is we back test this and we kind of chop and hold, because these moving averages, and that's how you catch a swing on a big multi-day move. These moving averages are going to catch up, and now you have 1, 2, 3, 4 forms of support as confluence of, hey, I should get some swings, some dated 17 calls or something like that. And so from a longer term perspective, I like the curl up here. We got the lower highs. We got, I don't know if we have a top trend line, top channel. Yeah, those kind of line up pretty good, actually. Those computers are smart. Touch there, touch there, touch there. And so I would definitely slap a upper trend line. Lower trend line doesn't look like it's going to be clean at all, just by looking at it. Not really. Well, maybe it will. That's kind of a nice upward channel too. This is a nice setup, you guys. Nice job, SK. I'm bullish on this until, you know, I need 1, 2, minimum 2 things to break for a day trade. If we start opening down here, SK under the 1638, if they got some 16 calls, I assume they would. You can take these rejections cautiously, and I say cautiously because we have recent volume here. You can't just, you know, zoom in on the chart that you're playing that day and be like, well, shit, why do we bounce? Well, it's like we bounce because we have stuff here. So to make it more obvious, I'm going to move this little pocket here, the shaded area. So, you know, we can reject here, but if we start bouncing in this zone here, it's like, why are we bouncing? It's like we have volume from, you know, the beginning of October and late September. And so, you know, cautiously you can take puts, but again, okay, why cautious? So you got that pocket volume here, you got some moving averages, they're still overhead. So it's like, if we're creeping up to a daily moving average, it's like, you don't take puts on that, you take calls on that. So again, this is probably, if we see some consolidation here, these are going to do one of these things. And so you essentially have 3 trend lines to take calls off of. But we start opening down here, we do this, you already know. Then that's your confirmation of, if this happens later this week, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, hypothetically on Friday, we start getting closed underneath here. That's where you can look underneath here and go, okay, we're now under a recent trend line. We're under, old all-time high support, like when SPY was breaking under all-time highs and bouncing back up, we were short in SPY at the old all-time highs. And tomorrow as well, if we dip down into 580 on SPY, we push up to 580. I'm taking shorts at 580 because it's an all-time high level. It's an old, the high. So until we break down, I don't want to be bearish on this name. Energy sector, I believe. I don't know what part of energy, but could be a tricky name with Middle East tensions. But very nice setup. 2 for 2, you guys. Very nice. SoFi, is that? Yeah, SK, you're asking again. That's all right, man. SoFi. Let me check the daily because I think it freaking big breakout. So that's I'm not saying those what were they? 13 calls. I seen you post in the chat. Let me know what strike those were in the chat, SK, because I've seen it until it was news that I don't remember. So SoFi, like I said, my only cautious was, okay, when did they enter the calls? If they hit Friday, like are they chasing? I guess I need to get some more time on this daily. There we go. Okay, so SoFi, $9. We can see when we get over, we push hard. Same thing in all my lectures say. We're under, we push, multi-day push down. Rejection, multi-push down. Over it, push up, down, up. You get the point. So my point is, are they late to those calls? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe we fly over 9, we get daily close over, and we keep going. That's awesome. Those guys are going to get paid. I'll join the party. But like I said, the only thing that's standing out to me right now is, not saying I'm bearish, but I'm just saying cautious. We have a huge candle, whatever percent day that was. That's a big day. Big breakout, but we closed right. To me, we closed where it makes sense. All right, January calls. So, okay, those can pay tomorrow and all this week, or those can get cheap for a week or 2, 3 weeks, all the way through November, and then they can come back to break even, then they can pay. So two different scenarios on that, that 13 call. And so he's also not smart with math. How far is 13? He's also 35. I mean, shit, how far out of the money are they? Maybe something's coming. I don't know, but they're 44% out of the money. Yeah, it's not a leap. It's something with 4 days sorry, not 4 days, like 4 months of time. But I don't know. It can pay if we continue, but sorry, I'm having a brain fart here. So we're off the daily movement. So remember those moving averages. So when we curl under and we break over them, we get that multi-day move. Look how far extended we are from the daily moving average. So for me, I want to see some continuation, like this 865 here I'm seeing. I think line up nice. Let's just call it 850 flat. So if we get, okay, let's pretend that this is the price action here this week. If we start seeing rejections here at 9, but some consolidation here, and we start back testing that 853, and now these moving averages catch up for swings, yeah, I'm in. I'll take some long dated swings, but for me, I'm not going to jump in swings when we close at a big ass level here. You take swings at a break and a retest on the daily of a big level here at 759. That's where you take your swings with time, and you catch the moving average curl and you catch the multi-day move. And so, very big move possible. Oh, earnings, yeah. So maybe it's an earnings play. They got the time to cover. Yeah, earnings coming up on the 29th. So, big move. Definitely, let's take note of it. But for me, day trade perspective, you already know where I'm going. Let's see if we get some back tests here, 850, 853, or if we push up over 9, let's get some back tests of 9, because, an old resistance is now support. When a resistance gives up, it's like, okay, that's sellers giving up, that's buyers taking over. There's more buyers, they're taking over. And so, buyers are ready to push it more. And so get that push up. We have a very, very nice trend, probably a trend line here. Recent couple weeks. Ride that trend. If 9 holds and the trend holds, take it. If we open over 9, this trend holds on Tuesday, take it. But just don't go heavy on one flow alert is my only point. But I'm not bearish on it. I just want to see what we do here in this nice, again, looks like a big move. It's a 50-cent pocket, 50 cents on the stock name. Man, only 3 requests. All right. What do I want to go over? Do I want to go over what we talked about or AT&T? Remember we were talking about that last week, AT&T on the daily, kind of talking about that, decision time up there, if it's going to roll over. Well, it rolled down and it rolled on under a pretty big level here. And so for me, you can see I'm already preparing. I missed that on Thursday. So what I do Friday, I slapped an alert level here. 21.54 for cheapies on AT&T. I'm not saying I'm a mega bear, but we broke a big level. My daily 9 moving averages are over. So if we start again, rejections, consolidation rejections. And these start trickling down. Now I have 1, 2, 3 forms of resistance overhead. That's where I'm looking for some long swings. Hypothetically, I want to get down to this zone here because you can't take an 18 put, with 5 days of time on AT&T. It's not going to pay you at all. You got to buy at the money or in the money. But AT&T was one of those ones I was watching. Walmart, I think some people sent me some DMs. What we talked about last week in Walmart kind of paid off for them. I'm not sure exactly what they took or if they're in here, but Walmart, we talked about the same thing. Last week we we're talking, does this 79.64 hold? Do we push up to this top channel here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we opened at that top range. We rejected, never made it back. Nice. Okay. So Walmart, I'm seeing some things here for possible downside continuation or breakout. I know it's kind of let's see. I'm not trying to make something that's not there, but I'm trying to decide, do I draw the trend line here, that close there, or move this here and do this one? We'll just stick with this for now for speed of the class. So Walmart has 2 moving averages overhead as of now, unless they gap up. They have a trend line overhead, but they got support below it. So Walmart is setting up for something nice this week. If we hold 79.64, we break trend line, look for the bounces to continue up to this upper zone here, this upper range here, this 81 zone here. If you guys don't play Walmart that much, this is all-time highs as well. So again, we were pushing these all-time highs, rejecting. I was looking, okay, do these pushes hold? No, they're rejecting. So, but it was moving fast in the mornings. I couldn't really get any alerts in my tab. Like when I see, when I see those big breaks quick, it's like, man, I want, I obviously in hindsight could have got that retrace and alerted for you guys here. But when I see these big moves early out the open, it's tricky in Walmart. It's like, man, did they, are they all gassed out? Obviously, no, in hindsight. But you don't know. You don't want to be caught. You're like, oh, kill candle. Oh, maybe not, bounce up. And so Walmart, you got to kind of catch that midday momentum. But it's set up here, you guys, nice for something, I think. Walmart 79.64 marked on your levels tomorrow this week. If this trend line holds, we break down here. I had an older level set here from last week I was telling you guys about, but not that I don't think Walmart's a good company, but we start rolling over some moving averages. Maybe SPY looks like it wants to take a dip. This is where, I would take some swings on Walmart with time, end of October, early November, you can get the 80 put right at the money. You can get the 79 put, maybe, depends what option expiration, but that's a big level to me. If it gives that up and get daily closes under, it's a big spot to watch in Walmart. All right, Jimmy D says Square. I'm gonna go back to it, and I'll go back to I really want to hit Disney. Oh shit, we got a lot. We might go long, guys. Sorry. Disney, Roblox, Amazon, and Microsoft, especially Amazon. That one stands out. Square. Let's see where we're at here, brother. All right. Square daily. A couple things stand out. If I need to zoom in for you guys, I'm sorry. Shit, that's gonna draw really ugly. Yep. I'm just not good thinkorswim. That's all right. It's the only way to learn. Top trend line on the daily, lower rising wedge-ish vibes. No bias, but just pointing out what I'm seeing. So this is the daily. Let's break it down. Let's see what we got, where we're pushing. I definitely like, are you in it, Jimmy, or just, I would love to hear your thoughts. All right, let's see. 69 flat. Definitely area of interest. If we break that, lower area of interest. I'll zoom in, just give me 1 second, guys. 67 flat, just to speed up class. Where do we reject here? Just so as I do this, I hover over basically, guys, and I look left is what I'm doing. So I like this wick here, this top channel, top resistance zone. I like that daily rejection there. It plays into this level very nice here. It plays into this little wedge, breakdown. So support here, a little bit of a wedge and a breakdown, nice breakdown there. So again, recent price action, we're looking at the daily again. I'm gonna zoom in on the closer time frame, but 2 days of failing to close over, call it 71, call it 70.67. Jimmy, definitely a spot. Let me I'm in some 73 calls, cracked the 200 last week, but oh yeah, shit, do I have the 200 on? Wait, oops, why don't I have the daily 200 on here? Oh, can't type on the fly. Movie. So many. Which one is it? Give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. I'm just gonna do a multi-time from that's easy. There you go. Oh, I don't have the date of the 200 on there. Exponential close. Because this could change things, or maybe my outlook on it. Oh, falling apart here. What the hell are we doing? There we go. All right. Daily closes. All right. Cracked this 200 last week. All right. I like that, Jimmy. Definitely like that outlook. All right. 200-day moving average. He said closed over good. 9 underneath it, 20 underneath it. Okay. We're at the top of this little recent channel though. So for me, got in some. Are you down on them now? Break even and profit? Let me know, Jimmy. That kind of will decide what I kind of tell you what to do here. But so we definitely want to see the higher lows. So this is a low, a higher low, higher low. We want to see this higher low, continue. We want to see that push early in the week, ideally over that ideally 71. 71, we need some daily closes over for me to keep being bullish on it. Because again, if we start, rejecting here, pushing on that ceiling and that ceiling doesn't break, buyers might give up and might roll down. And so another thing, you guys, Square can push and SPY and other tech can be weak, but just also like never, it's a side note, never, always keep track of where SPY and Qs are, at least one of them. Figure out, are we trending up on the day? What are we doing? I mean, obviously I've alerted puts before on a SPY push up, trending day, but the chart that I thought I alerted was weak. That's fine. But, always keep track of what SPY is doing. If SPY is just getting hammered and getting bloody, it's like maybe not day trade calls on this yet. Maybe look for some weakness, look for it to get weak, and that can be your trigger. But, side note, always keep track. We just made all-time highs last week. So just be cautious on any longs, but not saying be bearish on this name. We got, 1, 2, 3, 4 reasons underneath us to stay long on it, but we got some overhead stuff that's tricky at the moment. So for me, I definitely, ideally this week, I don't know your expiration, but we want to get some closes because, get these higher lows in, get that Monday or Tuesday, or, we don't have to get Monday or Tuesday. As long as we kind of keep closing up here, we're, cautiously, we're okay. Maybe we get that breakout later in the week, but big breakout here. And we see the move, when the moves come, you guys, when a resistance, we seen that SPY last week on Friday. That was a vicious, hard push up because that was an all-time high, that top channel push up on SPY. That move was fast. That is buyers taking over. That is people wanting to dive in, just, they slap in the ass. That's what they're doing. They're flying in. So if we break this, I would expect a fast move up as long as the market's trending. Maybe it moves by itself. I don't know. But Jimmy, as long as 69 flat holds, because you can see, that Friday reaction there, dip buyers are ready. Why were they ready? Wednesday price action, Thursday price action all the way back here, September 19th. And so as long as, $1.50 range, maybe I'm not saying day trade, you're already in some swings possibly, but, a little bit of a pocket here. So as long as this holds, you might not get the breakout when you want, but I'm not bearish on this name until under 67 for me personally. Just what I'm seeing here. 2 supports, 3 moving averages underneath you. I definitely want to see that. All right. Disney, it's, a zoomed in look. Some trend lines are kind of ugly, but I'm getting vibes that Disney wants 95 this week. I like this upper channel here. I want to see some continuation. 93.50 is a big support. It blasted through that on that hourly there. And you can see how that 93.50 here, just make it a little thicker to stand out. I like that support. I like the trend. I want to see a push. I'm not in anything. I just want to see it. I got some bullish bias. Trend line, support, 2 moving averages underneath this start curling. And again, when we catch those swings, those multi-day moves, that's what you want. Higher lows are being set. Nice channel here. I'm kind of being quick with this. I'm kind of skimming over, but if we catch a bottom bounce here at 93.50 on Disney, we'll just look left. There's a lot of price action here, but also a lot of volume to chew through here to get to 95. But if 95 comes, if we break this 94.60 basically, it's usually a fast move. And the same thing, we open over it and 94.60 gives way. That move down is usually quick. And so screenshot or mark some levels here, guys, intraday. I'm liking Disney. I'm liking the setup. Amazon, I think, is a sexy setup for you tech players. Amazon on the daily. Why is Amazon nice? What did Amazon do on Friday, you guys? Look at that. What did it do on Friday? Not only broke a key level, let's just call it 187. It closed over it, and not just barely, not just half-assed. It closed, $2 over it. That's big. That's big to take note of. A big, you hear me say pivots all the time. Look at this 187 reaction. How tough it is, how tough it's been recently. We just closed over it, okay? 187 is support on Amazon. Daily 9, look at this purple. What's it doing? It's curling. What's it going to do as long as we consolidate or trend up? This is how you catch those swings, you guys. Your 9 is going to do this. Your 20, it's a 20-day moving average, so it moves slower. Your 20 is going to do one of these things, and it's eventually going to cross, okay? So if Amazon starts doing one of these, dipping, you're not getting the breakout, but you start seeing this, that's where you take those long swings with time. When I say swings, like I'm not saying it's Wednesday and you're taking a 2-day expiration, you're swinging. I'm saying buy some time, you guys. Buy end of October, buy some November, as long as this holds, okay? Yes, there's some, we'll get to the rejection part, but I want to point that out. Amazon is a very nice setup for me. Can it fail? Can it reject? Absolutely. We're on the daily. There's probably, yep, look at that. 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touches. So, I'm watching this because, we can reject for sure. We start getting under, close under 187, I'll get bearish. But anything over 187 and around, I have a long bias. Again, I'm not in shares, I'm not in calls or anything, but this one stands out to me. We get a trend break, it's on. But underneath, keep rejection and we get a weak market. and 187 is now overhead, and our 2 daily moving averages overhead. 187 into this channel here, this pocket, I'll be bearish, but very nice spot to look at. Very nice spot on Amazon. I think it's something to take note of. I'm kind of skimming over stuff, sorry, because I know we're going long. iPhone says Apple. Yep, Apple is on the list. I was hoping someone brought it up. Apple, 229. Let's just take a look at that together. You think 229 matters, you guys? I think so. That was is one of those obvious questions. Yes or yes? Do you think 229 matters? Okay. Look at that. Sell under, push up, fat rejection, push up, gap up. Nice if you caught it. Sell under, closed over, opened, pushed up, or no, excuse me, opened down here, dip down, push up, ultimately closed at it. And Friday, pretty much opened at it and hard sell. Okay. Apple's tricky. iPhone, I don't want to say bearish. Like, yes, it's rejecting a big level, but man, it has got a ton of volume. And this isn't a very big move for Apple. I mean, we're talking like $2 or $3 here. So yeah, it's rejection, but for me, under 227, let me back up. For day trades, totally day tradable 100%. You take your shorts here until it fells you at 229. This is a zoomed in look at what we're just looking at, guys. Rejection, rejection, rejection. You take your puts here at 229 until it fells. Breakout, ride that train, be a bull. Okay. Take your puts here. You trim into these profit targets, price targets here. For me, if you top tick puts hypothetically, you bottom play this range. This is your final price target, 227. You don't hold full hoping for 227 because I mentioned it and get bounces and then stop out breaking. That's stupid trading. You look at these levels here, and you take puts and you go, oh, price target 1, target 2, 3, whatever it is. But very nice range here on Apple. But again, we can kind of see even intraday, short term, what it's doing. But we still got the daily 9 under, the 20 under, and 227. So until these 3 fail, swings, like long swing bearish, I'm not on Apple, but I'm also not long-term swing on Apple for calls because it's, like it or not, it's not breaking down, it's not breaking out. And so Apple's a very tricky spot, in Apple. So for me, strictly day trade mode on Apple. Strictly day trade. SG, Nora says, giving you one ticker, then I want to go over a couple other ones. All-time highs, maybe not. Ooh, interesting. This will make it fun. I'm on the weekly. Where's it rejecting? Why is it rejecting? Where's it at? Does it make sense? On the weekly. Definitely slapping this line here on the weekly. Could round it to 38, but it landed at 37.87, Norvin. A weekly close right at it. Last week's weekly rejection, I gotta zoom in, was right there. Again, trend is up. A little bit of probably a little bit of a wedge action here. No bias, just pointing out what I'm seeing. Very tight spot. So we're gonna get a breakout soon. I have no idea what this ticker is. SG, sweet green. Do they make tea? Do they make marijuana? I don't know. But big move happening. If we start getting, daily closes over this, weekly closes over this, big move happen. If we start getting rejections, you already know where I'm going. 37.87 is my top zone. Breakout, back test, take calls, rejections. I gotta be bearish here based on that weekly and daily level and last week's price action, but not mega bear because we got moving averages underneath us. And so definitely for me, again, same thing. Day trade only on this. I'm not in swings if I were on this until we get some closes over 38. Big spot. Polanco, BAC, I don't want to just shrug you off. I don't have any thoughts on it just because of the breakout and, like you said, earnings. So for me, it's an earnings no go. It's a breakout candle, big sexy candle. If you caught that breakout, that's awesome. If anybody caught it, but for me, Bank of America is hands off. I think Citibank as well. Well, let me back up. Hands off for like swings because of just that big daily candle, how far we are from moving averages. You know, this is typically a slower mover, and so for me, yeah, earnings tomorrow. Let's see how earnings out. You know, ask some people about the report. You know, the financial report. They're smart on it. Say, hey, do we want to be an investor? Or you know, they sold down, did it make sense, or they popped up on earnings, did it make sense, and then let's make a move from there. But as far as day trade perspective, you know, I'm on the daily right now. I'm going to zoom in real quick here. um, I'm just going to strictly day trade this because when you see a candle like this consolidation, it's like, okay, what do we do here at 42 zone, 42 to 42.14? I just basically, when I see a move like this and then earnings, it's like, okay, I don't want to get caught and chopped for 2 or 3 days. Because whether you have November expiration or 5 days expiration, like you don't want to get caught and chopped. And so, you know, if you're wanting to chase the move, if I'm being honest on calls, you're late. You know, we're all late unless you were in these swings. You know, that's just fact of the matter is when I see a big move like this, I want to see some consolidation and get some weekly levels here. Maybe let's watch it Monday, Tuesday, and then okay, we're in this zone here. Okay, let's just take calls here. 41.62. Let's ride it up to 42.14. Those will pay nice. Nobody gives a damn about Bank of America except a few people, but this pays. You bottom tick some 41.50 or some 42 calls, and you ride this up. This pays fat, you guys. You know, oh, you're in swings. Hopefully you're in profit. Hopefully you're already in profit because you're holding through earnings. But if you got a realistic strike and you're already in the money, that'd be awesome. But don't much commentary. I don't be rude just because the big day had last week. We're running long, guys. You guys can dip out if you want, but I got 2 more names. I'm gonna try and go through them quick. Roblox, I think I'm saying it correctly. RBLX, whatever. Who was in DMs? I don't know if you're in here tonight. Someone was in DMs. We're chatting about this. So big smackdown. Man, I had some puts here and I sold them like 5 days too early. So I'm watching this big 41 zone here. Last week we gapped it. We had a huge buyback and a huge buyback and a huge buyback, and it basically 41 held all week last week. And if I go left, you know, why does 41 matter? You know, 41. I'm not gonna lie, I'm eyeing this. I think I'm early, but I'm eyeing this for swings. I'm cautious because again, SPY all-time highs, but let's just look at the daily here. What are we doing? We're consolidating. We have a support. And what's my 9 doing? My 9 is curling, hopefully curling under. The quickest way to get the 9 curl under is have a big up day. That 9 will curl. You know, a big up and a back test day, that 9 will curl down a little bit faster. But I want to see this daily 9 curl under. And we start getting some daily closes, something like this. I don't know how long it's going to take, a day, 2, a week, but I want to try and catch a swing on this on RBLX, Roblox. They got smacked down. I don't know if it's a shit company, you know, as far as financials. I'm not concerned with that. I'm looking for this name here. But again, 41 gives out, 40 gives out, and I'm gonna be bearish on another leg of swings. You know, I'm looking for a move like this. But if this holds, I want to day trade this on a zoomed in perspective. We can see that reaction at and around 41. Obviously, we didn't quite get there last couple days, but I'm liking this name. It's kind of top watch, you know, this week for me for possible day trades. I don't want to rush anything. If I don't know if anyone takes my alerts, but if I alert something, I don't want to rush it. But I'm kind of eyeing this. I want to see what we do early in the week. So if you don't trade the name a lot, you know, slap a line at 41, slap a line upper range 42, 43, and a lower range at 40 flat. But I'm looking at that one. Let me check my chat real quick here. Let's see something. Oh, wrong name. Never mind. All right. Rupert says AEHR. Never heard of it. But you know what? We're gonna take a look at it. AEHR. What are you in on this? What do you want to be in? Are you trading it? Did I type it right? AE, sorry. AEHR. Ah, well, I don't like that. Well, I don't like it if you're not already in. I mean, 20% day, that was that earnings? Yeah, that was probably earnings. Thoughts on it? Well, man, that in hindsight, like, look at that curling bottom. Look at that fat, thick bottom right there. Thoughts on it? I wish we were in there, we or somebody, or in shares, and then you catch that move. But all jokes aside, moving averages curling, it held a huge support down here. And so, you know, if you're not in, you're late. Where did it reject? Why did it reject? You know, the daily 200. If you guys don't have it on your chart, you should. It's not dashed like mine because I put it in on a hurry, but daily 200 right there at 16.4, big spot there. So thoughts on it? I'm going to get some support levels here, but you know, breakout retest is my bread and butter. So on the daily, 1550. If we get some, you know, dips into 1550, Rupert, that's a buy for me. Let me back up. That's a cautious buy because of the chart. But again, big moving averages, earnings just happened. Obviously, hopefully the earnings, you know, made sense on the breakout. You know, I'd assume they would. Maybe they announced something, but 1550, slap down your chart. If that holds, daily closes in a zoomed in look, you know, we start back testing that. Absolutely take some, I don't know what the option premium looks like on this, but 1550 or as an investor for shares, 1550 holds. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. I just zoomed left, had no idea how to line up. This is back February this year. You start getting 1550 holds, take some shares on whatever company this is. Again, I'm not trying to be rude, I just don't know, but that's a good spot there. 1550 and very, very bottom range, 1242. Let me check my charts here. Rivian, shit company, no doubt, as far as financials, but I can't ignore this chart. On the weekly, okay? So one thing to know here, you know, shit company, something to note here on Rivian. What's SPY doing, you know, as of, you know, past weeks, all-time highs, all-time highs. What is this doing? I'm on the weekly since July. Down, 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 okay? Yeah, it's getting its butt whooped, but look at this weekly level. I know, you know, River would kill me saying that, but look at that weekly level. That's all I'm saying. Recent price action, you know, we got down 1, 2, 3, 4. We held, you know, my low trigger almost triggered there, or maybe it didn't, just missed it. But now we got some moving averages curling, okay? We're trickling down, the 9's curling, the 20's curling. Maybe there's still resistance and maybe we smack down and we continue down. That's fine. We'll be bearish on it for some long swings, but it's like I'm not taking swing puts on this. You know, I'm not taking swing puts on this until I see that break, because that's just a huge daily and weekly level. Okay. So yeah, I'm trying to maybe be a bear or a bull on this because I like that curling action. Doesn't mean you have to like the company, but I like the chart. Okay. So for me, this week, early this week, I want to see, you know, does 10-14 hold if we get back down there? Yes. Okay. Step one. Short term, 1050. That's our middle zone range. Is that holding? Okay. 1050 is a great spot. So all this price action here last couple of weeks. 1050 means, oh, our daily 9 is now underneath us and holding. Okay. Again, the move might look big on the chart if I do this. 1071, 21 cents above, it's right there. So for me, ideally, I want to see the moving averages curl, and I want to see 10.7. I want to see daily close. I want to see 1 hour. I want to see 4-hour closes over. Okay. And then I will try and be bullish swings on this name, despite the company, over 10.7. So you guys like the cheaper names? Maybe you do, maybe don't. You like the swing names with time? Like you guys are trying to swing, you know, Tesla, you know, 40 bucks out of money because you think you're a good swinger. That's not good swinging. This is a potential good setup. You reclaimed a big support. You got 2 moving averages underneath you. You can buy 11 call November cheap. November 15th, 11 call. If I'm doing, I think that's right. Yeah, 30. It expires in 33 days. You can buy that for 97 bucks, less than 100 bucks. You can buy a swing call with 33 days potentially time because one case said, "Oh, maybe this is a good chart." Okay, so you can buy time. You can potentially say you bottom tick this tomorrow. Hypothetically, we push up to 11. You got 33 days of time on this trade, and you are instantly in the money because you got the 11 call. Okay, stuff like this, you don't buy the 20 call, the 15 call. It makes no sense all the way up here. You buy at the money, in the money. Like if we're at 10.8, you buy the 11. If we're at 11.1, I'm buying the 11 call as well, even though we're over it. Okay, potentially a nice swing here, guys. All right, guys. I had to skip a few of my own. We're running late. I think I got to everybody. At least had one request, but I'm gonna end the session here, you guys. Send me a DM. You know, if we didn't have time, I apologize, but send a DM. Just say, hey, can you take a look at this? I'm in calls or I'm in puts. What do you think? And I'll give you a couple levels. I'm gonna make you work for it though. You gotta do a little bit of charting on your own, but DMs are always open, you guys. Again, SPY just made a new all-time high. Let's not dive into shit at the open. Let's see how we react to 580, 579.3. Let's see what we do. There's no reason Monday morning to just dive into stuff at the open, you guys. So let's take our time. Let's start the week right, okay? But I appreciate y'all guys for being here. And with that, I will end this lecture. Thank you.